Yeah, Vice-Captain of Melbourne and also Channel 7 star. Garry, a big game. Darren Bennett seems to have given you something. You're kicking a lot more goals this year. Is it due to one player or something that's happening up the field?
I wouldn't like to say it's due to one player. Certainly to have a guy kick 16 in 2 weeks is a great sort of benefit to us. But I think just to have a figurehead down there and someone who we've got confidence in to kick, say 4 or 5 and 8 a week is a good boost for the boys.
Now this will please you. I'm going to talk about another South Australia. Danny Hughes.
Yeah, Danny's back today, and I'd imagine he'd be jumping out of his skin. He sort of had a bit of an interrupted pre-season, thigh and hamstrings, but played exceptionally well last week in the seconds, I believe, and he'd be looking forward to this match, I'd imagine.
Gary, you were sitting here when we had that slight discussion. Is it, when you go out on the ground tomorrow, is it a mind game for you? What do you do with your mind today and tomorrow?
Well, with top spot on the at stake, Bob, I don't think you'd have to think about it too much. I mean, it's such an important game, us against Essendon, and
yes.
There's so much at stake. So I think if you're not tuned in for a game like that, and perhaps any game at AFL level, I think you should have enough mind ability to sort of tune in each Saturday.
Gary, by your own standards, you probably haven't had a great start to the season personally. What position do you prefer?
I haven't got a real preference, Cal. I don't think. I know last year I sort of tended to play perhaps a little bit better down back. So, I guess the option of having sort of back line or forward line sort of in your repertoire gives you a benefit. If you're not playing too well up forward, you sort of always slot down back. So I felt pretty comfortable down the back line last year, but I guess it's just a matter of what's happening on the day, I think.
Do Melbourne players get a little disappointed about the media perhaps not giving you guys as high a profile as you perhaps deserve, considering, I mean, your performances over the last 3 years have been great? The Melbourne Football Club I'm talking about.
Yeah, we don't seem to get a terrible lot of recognition, Robbo, but I don't think it plays on our mind too much. I certainly think John Northey prefers us to go in as underdogs most Saturdays, and he sort of uses that as a bit of a spur more often than not. But I mean, we don't sort of play for the media, and as long as we're sort of happy with our own performance. And I think, over the since '87, there's only us and Hawthorn have played in every finals campaign, so I think that our record just speaks for itself, and it doesn't sort of need bumping up by the media, I guess.
Gary, there's a persistent feeling in the football mafia, that is the media, that Melbourne this year seems to have had an increase of determination, if that's possible, because they're very well known in the last few years for that, to make that top 3. Now, are they perceiving it correctly? Is there an extra added thing this year?
Oh, certainly. I think we've proven over the last 3 years that it's near impossible to sort of to play often or play competitively in the grand final if you're not in the top 3. So, it hasn't been a big thing, but I mean, you just have to sort of, you must realise if you've been at the club that it's imperative to finish in the top 3. So, whilst it hasn't been bandied around, I think personally on an individual basis, everyone realises how important it is. So, that is our aim, definitely.
Does the boss off the field make you lift the barrels up, Gary, or what happens? How do you get on down there?
My word, he does, Bobby.
Does he?
Yeah, I do.
You do all the physical work and he does the genius work,
He does the paperwork, yeah.
Fill us in, Bob. What are we talking about?
Well, Gary and John Northey, of course, are co-licensees of a hotel in Richmond. That's right, Gary, isn't it?
That's right, Bob. The London Tavern there in Lennox Street.
What a plug, yeah. But is it difficult working with your coach?
Oh, not really. Early on in the day, he's sort of over at the footy club. He pops over for lunch, and I think it's probably a benefit. If anything else, we sort of tend to have a little bit more time to talk about things, maybe.
Yeah.
Bob, who are you tipping?
Well, I'm going away from Gary. I think that Essendon are in superb form. They're very fit, and I think that they're ferocious. I think they'll keep on their good form.
Well, every time I tip against Melbourne, they prove me wrong, which is great, because I want them to win. But I did see Essendon last week, and they were magnificent, so I'm sticking to Essendon.
Kelvin?
Likewise, unfortunately, Gary, I have to go to the Bombers.
Right.
I travelled with Melbourne late last year. They're a great football club, and I think they can win tomorrow.
Well, Gary, what's your record like against Essendon in the last few years?
Oh, gee, Bruce hasn't been real flash. I sort of read in the paper that of the last 19, they've won 18, so it's a good time, I think, now to sort of rectify that.
Good luck. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks very much.
And let's hope you have a big game personally, and the Demons get the money unless you break for Essendon out there tomorrow in the big game at the MCG. Back